What's up, everybody? This is Vonda Evans checking in, seeing what's going on this evening, making sure that you all are tuned in and listening to me, and we can talk and have a discord. It is so beautiful this evening. It's just so wonderful. So very, very wonderful. It's beautiful. I'm in Michigan and it's like 60 something degrees and it just feels tremendous. So, check this out. I recently had, this evening, I recently had someone to reach out to me, somebody very close to me, and they were distraught, just completely distraught. And what that was, completely distraught. And they were distraught because they were in a dating relationship. They were in a dating relationship. They ultimately decided to get married. And she was just like, this is my life partner. We locked in, we gonna do this. And she started to uh, suspect that he was stepping out and cheating, and it just made her, she just began to just completely unravel. Hey, Miss Tucker, how you doing? Evelyn Tucker checking in. How you doing? What's up? And today I want to talk about learning to master your feelings. Let me say this to you. For all my people that are married or, in a committed relationship, you got to realize that when that person came to you, no matter how much they loved you, they had a whole nother life over there. This was their life, and this your life. They was whole separate. Okay, they got their degrees separate. They went to different high schools. They had different experience, all separate. Hey, Miss Paula Latham. Hey, lady. All of them was separate. And so then you come together and you become one. Okay. But you got two separate people with separate experiences locked in together. And sometimes those expectations are not going to be identical. One person is going to mature faster than the other. That's just how things are. You know what I'm saying? And you got to consider the person that you locked in. And so many times, especially women, make decisions and they meet somebody, I'm going to change him. He a little rough around the edges, but I'm going to change that. I know what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? If I'm a young girl, I'm going to lock him in. I'm going to give him that baby. Okay? Yes, that's going to lock Zaddy in. Honey, a baby ain't going to keep no man, no place he don't want to be. Point blank, period. And so what you got to do, you can't unravel emotionally. You can't go down this rabbit pit. Oh my God, he was somebody else. Oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Before you know it, you start to become out of control. It ain't going to change the situation. It's going to make you sick. Okay? And let me tell you something. Freedom is the ability to confront with the reality in your life. You got to call it as you see it, baby. Don't whitewash it. Call it. See what it is. If it walk like a duck and quack like a duck, it's a duck. Confront it, not that person. Confront what you see. Confirm it. That's it. Once you deal with what you're dealing with, I got a whoremonger. 60% of the time he good, 40% of the time he off the chain. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change him. I'm going to lock him out. I'm going to follow him. Listen, all you going to do is get yourself all upset because that person going to do what they want to do. Why? Because they grown. And the person that they fell in love with isn't this marshmallow that you have become. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not eating properly. You're not taking care of your house. Well, how can I do all that? And he ripping and run the street. Let me tell you something. Excuse me. You cannot miss what you can't measure. I can't worry about what Bank of America doing with all of them hundreds that I would like to have. Oh, I wonder what they doing with them hundreds. That ain't mine. But we married. Listen, that's a whole nother person. When that person take his last breath, you gonna keep going. Okay. You in a committed relationship, but you two separate people. And what you got to be able to do is call it like you see it. And then what you got to do is learn to discipline your feelings. You can't let them you can't allow them to take over. Look, you control your feelings. Look, let me tell you something. I'm not going through his phone. I'm not, if he don't come in tonight, that's on him. I'm not getting into it. Why? Because your feelings will take you down a rabbit hole. And you got to control them. The Bible talks about controlling your emotions. And the more you control your emotions, the stronger you become. Person don't want to go out and you want to go see Martin Lawrence, you get ready, get your nails done, get your feet done, and buy you a ticket and take yourself to dinner and go on out there. And if he ain't there when he get back, guess what? That's on him. I'm going to bed. You got to master your feelings. When something come to your mind, you got to shoot it down. Trick no good. I don't want to hear that. Trick no good. See, in life, matter can only occupy one space at a time. Either you out of control or you got discipline. One or the other. You out of control or you got discipline. I don't care how many times you go on his phone. I don't care who you confront. I don't care what you do. That person's still going to do what they want to do. You got to get yourself together. You look at yourself and say, look at all this weight I gained. My hair coming out. Your body is breaking down because you're allowing feelings, not faith, not purpose, to destroy you. It can destroy you. You got to be able to say, this is what I'm dealing with. If I decide to accept it, I will. How did I get here? What made me get here? I seen the signs, but now I'm here. That's like having a bad job, but pay good. Listen, in this economy, you like, oh, I can't stand who I work with, but that money is good. And it allows me to live the life I want to live. And so as a result, I can only control me. I'm going to do the things that are good for me. If I want to go out the country, I'm going to go. If I don't want to cook, I'm not going to cook. If I got kids, I'm going to cook. I'll make sure my house clean because that reflects who I am. But when you decide you're going to weaponize cleaning your home, cooking, you out of control. You've allowed whatever the thoughts, whether they're true or not, to dictate how you're going to act. That's childish. You got to call those thoughts into submission. You got to say, listen, whether they are or they're not, I'm only responsible for me. I'm not responsible for nobody else. I'm responsible for me. And I got to show up for me. And I got to be the best version of me. And I got to constantly strive to do what's right for me. Okay? And running after somebody, trying to be on a cell phone, trying to follow them, having investigators, that's not the best version of you. You have to learn discipline. And let me say this to you. Many of my ladies that's going through whatever, you got advanced degrees, you've had children, you know what discipline requires, but you're undisciplined when it comes to your emotional stability. Because when I just love him, that person doing me, stop getting into that. That's not the, you got to say, how can I be better? What I need to do? Let me take a look at me. Okay? Some of you might need to lose some weight. Some of you might need to gain some weight. Some of you may say, I want to give me a little plastic surgery. Whatever it is that is going to make you happy, you got to live your life for you. And you got to show up for you. And if that person don't come in for 3 days, your house got to stay clean. You got to have food because you operate at a level of excellence. Because you done been through too much hell to live otherwise. Your car got to be clean. Your house got to be clean. You got to look good. You got to eat right. Oh, I can't eat. I'm just at the bar. I'm going to bed drunk. I got to take the medicine. I can't sleep at night. I was whatever. Baby, let me tell you something. You can't do all of that. You can't do none of that. Miss Latham said he was lying in my bed, rubbing his feet and lying, and I'm lying next to him. He was on the phone with another woman. I said something to him, and she heard me. That was the end of them, and still together, 46 years together. Baby, let me tell you something. I had situations where women say, listen, baby, you ain't no different than nobody else because you came to the family reunion. Because you did this, because you having sex, baby. Let me tell you something. It's a whole bunch of y'all like that. But I ain't into that. That's between him and his God. That ain't your business. That ain't your soul salvation. That's his. And whatever he got to account to God for, that ain't your business. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Because God know all and God see all. You got to be accountable to you. You got to say, you know what? I got to come out here the best version of me. I got to make sure I look good. I'm not competing. How you competing with somebody else and you trying to walk this journey alone yourself? Baby, you're going to run yourself ragged emotionally. And let me tell you what'll happen. If you keep going down that rabbit hole, it will destroy you. It will destroy you mentally, physically, and it can put you in jail or put you in a grave. You got to call it as what you see it, and you got to deal with it. And if it's abusive, you got to let it go. I don't care how much you like it. Whether it's boy or girl, you got to let it go. If the police always at your house and they, Andrea Phillips said, first time catching on live. Yeah, I'm back. And the police always at your life. That's no way to live. You got to have order. And when you die to your feelings every day, you live to discipline. You got to have order. You got to have a schedule. When I wake up in the morning, I'm giving God 20 minutes. If I got to be at work at 8, I'm gonna get up at 6, and I'm gonna get a Lord some time completely. I'm gonna put me on some praise music, and I'm gonna praise God. I'm gonna get in my holy book, whether my Quran, my Torah. For me, it is my body. I got to do that. Then what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get in the shower. I'm gonna check my messages if I got time. You got children, you got to get them ready. You got to have order and you got to have structure, and you can't deviate from that. It ain't about how you feel today. I was worried about, I couldn't go to sleep till he came in. You out of control. His behavior or misbehavior has nothing to do with you. It's not relevant because you got to show up for yourself. That's your test. You got to be able to say, Lord, if this is what I got, okay, and many of y'all ain't even consult the Lord with it. You just got it. But if this is what I got to deal with, I got to show up for the best version of me. And I can't let me down. And I'm not just playing, faking it. I got to believe it. Because as long as you have your mind disciplined, God will come in your mind. He will give you strategy. He will give you peace. And all hell breaking loose, and you got peace. I see people all over the world in war, and listen, ain't no walls and nothing around, and they got fire under the pan, and they just cooking. They said, I'm not going to allow what's external to me to control what's internal in me. Remember what I told you before? Don't be a thermometer, be a thermostat. A thermostat controls the heat. A thermometer reacts to it. You got to be in control of yourself. And you out of control. And you know you are. And this is not about denial. It's about being the best version of you. Because when you can control your feelings, when you master them, look, I don't want to hear none of that. Not today. Well, he ain't. Cut it off. I'm not going to even entertain that. Let me go get in the Bible. Let me go read in the Bible, because they'll make you sleepy anyway, because the enemy wants you to be sleepy. Go get in that word. Make sure you exercising. Make sure you going to the gym. Make sure you ain't even nowhere near no liquor. Zero liquor or a little bit of liquor, nowhere near. No pills, nothing. Because you have to challenge yourself to grow up and to become more disciplined. Would that mean I'm in denial? No, it does not. It means that you are accountable for yourself. And you can't worry about what somebody else does or what they don't do, how they show up. You are accountable. And when you start to learn that, you're going to be a better person. But right now, you're allowing something external to control you internal. And that's your fault. That's your fault. Many of you all have jobs that you delegate responsibilities in the workplace, and you that girl, you that guy. And then you come home, and in your relationship, you a marshmallow. You don't know if you coming or going. You all messed up. It's time out for that. You got to grow up. You got to call your feelings into submission. You have to control them. And the only person that can do that for you is you. Ain't no girlfriends. Ain't no family. But girl, let me tell you, no, listen. I know what I'm dealing with, and I'm going to deal with it accordingly. And whatever that is, I'm going to be true to myself, and I'm going to write it down and make it plain. And once I see it, I got to correct me. Either I can deal with it or I can't. But I'm not going to allow, girl, I think, shut that down. Don't you let nobody tell you about what your husband, shut it down. Now, we don't entertain conversations like that here. Because you got to be in control of you. Well, that shows weakness, just shows strength. Silence is a form of warfare. We didn't know we were going to war till we was in it. They ain't go broadcast. What y'all think about going to war? Raise your hand. Silence is a form of warfare. And so what you got to be able to do, you ain't got to confront everything. Well, that person cheating on me, that person lying on me. No, that person cheating on themselves. They lying to themselves. They ain't got nothing to do with you. You ain't being lied to. Because guess what? You already know what you're doing. And you have to be responsible and disciplined enough to do the things that you need to do. You waiting around, he still ain't home. His phone going to voicemail. Let me tell you something. When he leave, he'll come back. But listen, no news is good news. When my kids don't call me, I say, "Ooh, that's good." Because no news is good news. That means that they somewhere okay. Because when my phone be blowing up, I know it's a problem. And govern yourself accordingly. But definitely no liquor, no pills. You got to get up You got to work out. You got to keep your home clean. You got to have a schedule. And you can't allow, well, what that person doing, that's not your business. But that is not your business. You got to be responsible for you. You got to show up for your children. Make sure you taking them everywhere that they need to go, going to dance, whatever it is, because them your kids, you got to show up for them. And you got to make sure they're good and that there's structure in the home. That's your job. It ain't running out here in the street, well, what he doing, and he out, I'm gonna be out, and ain't nobody raising your kids. And they home alone, or they with the grandma, or they somewhere that they ain't supposed to be. They want to be in their own house. They want to be in their own bed. They don't want to hear you on the phone crying, talking about their daddy. They don't want to hear that. You got to grow up. And you got to be able to say, listen, I know what I'm dealing with. I know. But now it's time to build me. Let's talk about this. Rachel and Leah. Well, we know in the Bible that Jacob wanted Rachel, but the uncle Latham hoodwinked them and gave them Leah, and Leah kept having these babies, and she just wanted to, wanted him to love her. About the fifth or sixth child, she was like, look, God loved me. She wasn't worried about that no more, because what she understood is his love did not define who she was. She had to define who she was. Here you are, a public success and a private failure. The minute you get home from work, because your man ain't home or whatever, the first thing you doing is going to get a drink of liquor, going to get some pills, out of control, checking his phone, getting them apps. You've gone down a rabbit hole, and you out of control. And you got to say, listen, trick no good. God ain't build you. When God made you, he made you unique. Your fingerprints ain't the same as your husband or your man's. Y'all got different fingerprint. Okay? Because y'all different people. You are accountable to God based on your conduct. Well, God, he was out there cheating. So what I did was I went out there and I got to cheating. And God gonna say, girl, you better go sit down somewhere. You know why? Because you only accountable for yourself. And you have to start moving like that. Well, if he don't act right, I'm gonna give him an ultimatum. Girl, go sit down with that. Work on your own soul salvation. Make sure you're eating right. You're healthy. You got the opportunity to eat the best. You can travel the world. You can do what you want. And you got to start working on you. And once you start working on you, you're going to become attractive again. Why? Because your self-esteem is going to elude. It's going to be like, wow, she is that girl. She got it going on. Because her strength is not externally, it's internally. It's her ability to move despite whatever that person got going on. I'm not accountable for that. That don't have nothing to do with me. I have to show up for God as God's woman. You see what I'm saying? As God's daughter. I got to show up for him. And at all times, all eyes on me, all eyes on you. Because he watching you. He don't sleep or slumber. And you out here at the bar, getting drunk, trying to get you a side piece, trying to do things like him. Stop. Silliness, ignorant. Because at the end of the day, you want God to bless you, to bless your children, to bless your business, to bless your mind, and you out of control. So as a man thinketh, that's who that man is. So if you sitting up saying, well, I ain't having sex, but I am, I got a little boo thing. We be talking on the phone. I be on a little date now. I got a little something. Guess what? God see that. That's cheating. You got to correct yourself by being a better person. And whatever that entails, that's what you got to do. You got to keep yourself busy. You got to have structure. And the more structure you have, the less time you have to think and ponder over things that are silly. Your children's stability is in line with how you react to some silliness. So you're going to allow somebody who is a fool, straight up fool, getting drunk, coming in late, got women, whatever, to disrupt how you raise your children. You arguing with them. Y'all cussing each other out. Y'all fighting. And that's what you want to raise your children in, that kind of environment, so that you can stunt their growth emotionally? No, you do not want to do that. You make sure that your kids are good. And guess what? Y'all going to go on trips. You do whatever you want to, and you live your life. Well, if then I need to be a single woman. Listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Okay, it's like them little dogs I got. Okay, they might not like no kibble, but they don't want to be out here in the rain trying to hustle for no food, because it ain't in them to do it. And you've been kept, and it ain't in you to do it either. Okay, and let me tell you something. If somebody just paying a water bill, okay, guess what? That's one less bill you got to pay. And you got to live your life for you. And you got to show up for you. If you don't want to go, I ain't got to go. I'm going. That's my favorite performer. And I'm going to make sure I see him. And not only am I going to make sure I see him, but I'm going to make sure I show up looking good. Me and my girl, if she want to go, or me and myself, I'm showing up. I'm going to go have dinner, nice place, no alcohol. And I'm going to show up and enjoy myself and laugh and joke. And if I get home and the car ain't there, guess what? I'm going to go jump in the shower. I'm going to get myself ready for bed, and I'm going to sleep. Because I got to be accountable for me. Today, I used to work downtown. And I stopped by a restaurant that I loved. And the woman said, I have not seen you in 5 years. So I don't live downtown anymore. She said, but can I tell you something? I said, yes. She said, you look so relaxed. You look younger. You used to look so stressed. You look so relaxed. Why? Because I had to heal the inner child in me. I had to heal the inner child that had been lied to, who had been abused, who had been taken advantage of. I had to heal her. And I had to heal her. And the Lord said, push everybody away. Luckily, my children were grown. So I had to take that time to heal me. People say, well, you're not calling me no more. We can't be friends. It ain't that. I got to work on me. I got to work on Vonda. I ain't mad at nobody. I got to deal with me. And I can't pour into nobody when I need to pour into myself. And so I had to heal me. Because if you've been doing that and going out your way and looking the other way and allowing things to just go on for so long, you got a lot of healing to do. It's like my garage. It's stuff all up in there. I got to take the time to go through everything. You understand what I'm saying? And separate it or throw it away or whatever. And that took time. And so I did not rush back into many relationships. That's including male or female. Because God said, hey, come on, let's deal with her. And I had to heal me. I had structure. From the time I wake up to in the morning till I go to bed at night, I am doing something. And it's just not busy work. It's things that I have to do. But I can't allow myself to get off emotionally, worrying about things I can't control, and work on my own soul salvation and be a better version of me, so that the God that I serve can say, my daughter, I'm proud of you. I like what I see. Why? Because I got to show up like that. I can't keep showing up for other people. So people start saying, well, you acting funny, and, you don't go anywhere, and you don't want to do anything. Baby, it ain't personal. And I hope y'all having a good time. I love it. But I got to heal me. And now I'm whole and healed. And it's still a process. because it was so many years that I allowed things and overlooked things that now I have to have boundaries. I don't do all of that. And as a result, I'm more productive because I've learned discipline. I don't engage in my feelings because your feelings, that's like driving a car blindfolded. I got to look at my purpose. I can't get into how I feel. I got to show up because that's my purpose. I'm walking in purpose now. I'm not walking in feelings. And I'm not allowing feelings to control me or to influence me because I know that they're distractions. See, let me tell you something too. See, let me tell you about the enemy. He can do more by distracting you than he can do by blocking you. See, if there's a block, you recognize it and you deal with that. But if it's a distraction, phone ring, something going on here, there, flat tire, you distracted. And because you distracted, you can't fulfill what you're supposed to, so you ain't moving. You got to stop moving like that. Whatever gonna happen, gonna happen. I ain't no meteorologist. Look, whatever they gonna do in Iran, they gonna do. I can't worry about that. Lord, you bigger than that. But I know that every day I got to show up for me. I got to show up for me as Vonda, the child of God. I got to show up for me as Vonda, the lawyer. I got to show up for me as Vonda, the parent. And I got to show up for me as Vonda, the dog owner. And really, that's about it. And I have a responsibility to my clients. And that's how I'm moving. I don't have time for distractions and foolery and getting drunk and feeling good and end up waking up to somebody you like, oh my God, how you get here? You know what I'm saying? And setting myself back mentally because I've allowed a substance like liquor or what, to take me to a place that I can't control. Because now my feelings are driving my car. And I can't afford that. I have to be in control. And I got to be disciplined. And so do you. And the more disciplined you become, the more peace you have. The more disciplined you become, the more peace you have. You have peace. You mean tell me you got peace in the middle of the storm? Listen, when Jesus was on that boat, they said, oh, you done got us out here and we gonna die. Oh, he down there sleeping. Why? Because he didn't allow what was exteriorly on the exterior to control what was on the interior. Because he had faith and he called out and he said, peace be still, and the water stopped. You got that same power, but you won't utilize it because you're allowing your emotions to take you to a place you can't get back from. Let me tell you something. When I first started being a judge, I would say this was the ratio. 80% men were in prison, maybe 12% women. Let me tell you something. It's about 60% women and about 90% men. Women going to prison. Judges don't feel sorry for women. They like, natural life, okay, 15, 20 years. They giving them time. So it's not like it's something that's just reserved for men anymore. And so my point being to you, you don't want to find yourself for all the things that you have survived to put you in a situation that calls you out of your character and can cause you to go to prison. One wrong move. You know how many people came before me? Good people who allowed their emotions to take the best of them, hitting people with the car, shooting people, just out of control. Why? Because they allowed their feelings to take them to a place that now they reason is like, why in the world am I even here? People had good jobs. People had children. And they allow the thought. Let me tell you this. Do you know how a pearl is made? Well, I'm going to tell you. Inside of a clam is a piece of sand that is an irritant. Inside an oyster, oyster, it's an irritant. And it keeps moving around. As the more it moves around, the more it calcifies. And the more it calcifies, the bigger it gets. This was something that was an irritant that has now grown in value. When you entertain your feelings, you allow them to manifest into something that you can't control. And then you wonder, how in the world did I get here? How many times have we heard, on TV, people, doctors, lawyers, politicians making bad decisions? There was once a woman who she was married to a doctor, and she found out he was cheating, had a private investigator, and the woman was blonde, and she made herself blonde, and she followed him, and she confronted him, and he says, I'm going to be with my girlfriend, and she took her Mercedes and ran right over him. She went to prison, he died, she got 15 or 30, and nobody was there to raise their children. Why? Because she allowed her feelings to take her to a place she couldn't get back. It was on the news about 20 years ago. She probably out by now. But here's a person that acted on emotion instead of purpose. Oh, look at the Lord. He done gave me all of this. And I'm going to be out here worrying about somebody? No. Bring into remembrance what God has done. Right before I go to bed, you know what I do every night? I walk my house. I can look at everything and remember when I bought it. I say, Lord, I thank you, because I started with nothing. And to me, this might not be a palace to nobody else, but it is to me. And I love it. And it's a reminder of how good God has been to me. And I owe him. And so as a result, when something tries to come up in my life, I got to be disciplined. I got to exercise my faith. And I got to be able to say, trick no good. We are human. We will make mistakes. That's why, let me tell you something, this is what my daddy said. I don't got one now. He said, that's why pencils got erasers on them, because people make mistakes. But the reason many people make mistakes is the lack of discipline. The lack of discipline. They can't separate it. And they allow, like that oyster, the irritant to grow and grow. Instead of saying trick no good. Irritant, you are what you are. Get out here, a little piece of sand. And you got to take control of your life. And whatever area you feel that you are not disciplined in, you got to pull it back. Whether it's shopping, whether it's eating, having sex, gambling, whatever it is, I got to challenge that. And I got to be better. And I got to show up the best version of me. You know what I'm saying? Because you owe God that. And you owe yourself that. Some of y'all ain't been able to sleep for a full night without some liquor or some pill, and it's just overwhelming you. And you got to have sex or whatever. And all you're doing is using these things, exterior things, to influence you interiorly. And it's going to destroy you, and it's going to catch up with you. You owe you more than that. And you need to be a better person. Listen, let me tell you something. I can't worry about nobody that's grown, whether it's my child, whether it's my husband, which I don't have, or my man, which I don't. I can't worry about that. God called me to be unique. And whatever that other person got going on, who they with, what they doing, how they doing it, when they doing it, ain't got nothing to do with me. And nothing to do with me. And I got to make sure I got peace. And that is what you have to do. But you first got to identify what you're dealing with. And write it down and make it plain. And when you see it, if it's something that is not dangerous, now somebody beating on you and pulling knives and guns, talking about they gonna kill you, you gotta go. But if it's not dangerous, you got to be able to make your own garden. You have that control, but you're allowing your feelings to become weeds. What is everybody doing now? They clean out their weeds, because you can't plant new flowers with weeds, because it'll eat them up. It'll strangle them. So you got to pull out the weeds. So you got to be able to say, let me get my house in order. I got to get my house in order, physically, mentally, and psychologically. I got to get it in order. I ain't gonna overwhelm. I'm gonna do this, like all that. One step at a time. Write down what you need to do, but you got to have structure. I got a plant. It's a rubber plant. And if I don't have a pole there to hold it up, it leans. But see, the more that it holds to that pole, the stronger it becomes. And I'm controlling the growth pattern, because there's discipline there. But now if it was just outside, it would die because it doesn't have the proper structure. Do you have it in your life? Are you showing up the best version of you? Or you faking it till you make it? And then you get home and you fall apart. You drunk. You taking pills. You slipping off trying to date somebody. What's good for the goose, good for the gander. Is that what you're doing? Because if that's what you're doing, you're shortchanging yourself. You need to get your house clean. You need to be able to say, listen, now on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to mop my floor. I don't care what's going on. I don't care who's sick. I don't care what. I don't care how I feel. Monday and Wednesday and Friday, I'm going to mop my house. I got to mop my floors. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I got to wash my clothes. When you come in your house, it ought to smell like you going to the hotel. Oh, it smells so good in here. Ooh, what is that? Because you demand excellence. God has given many of you all a blessed home, something very beautiful that you can enjoy, and stuff everywhere, because you out of control. Your car need to be cleaned. And if you take 16 hours a day to have order, you're going to be so tired, you ain't going to be able to worry about no man. What he doing, what he not doing, how he doing it. You ain't even going to be, because you have structure and you have order. And once you do that, think about it, ladies. How many times do you sweep and the next day, 2 days later, it's dust everywhere? It's stuff to do. Now, it ain't nothing to do, it's stuff to do. You can't keep a house clean up. It's stuff to do. You got to do something every day. And you got to focus on that, because you got to say, I'm committed to being able to be organized. I'm committed to being able to have a clean home. And I'm going to do this day, and stay to it. By the time you get in the bed, you're going to be so tired. All you're going to be able to do is just trying to crawl into that bed. And then what happens? You're not up all night. You ain't worried about nobody. And then you're like, wow, I'm actually getting stronger. And yes, you are. And yes, you can. And you got to take that time to have boundaries and to figure out what it is in your life that needs to change. And you need to deal with it. And you got to stop allowing emotions to take you to a place that you may not be able to get back home from. And if it's happened to other people, we say, well, how did that happen? And why? Simple. They didn't take control of their emotion. And when you take control of your emotion, baby, let me tell you something. You out the door. How many of y'all, and I know I'm just speaking, I ain't trying to call nobody out. You done had kids, had to go back to school, had to work, had a dog, a cat. You had so much going on, but you managed it. And now you where you want to be in your business and your good job, and you're going to let a lack of boundary make you lose everything? Trick no good. I used to believe I could not function without a man. I couldn't go to a concert. I couldn't go to dinner. I had to be accompanied. A man had to go with me. And I learned to enjoy myself such that it is now, it's very challenging for me to really entertain people for a long period of time, because I just love being by myself and doing things and learning different things, and I'm just enjoying it. And if I can do it, you can. And I have become so productive until I'm like, Lord, why? Because there's no stimulants, no drinking, there's nothing that is throwing me off my game. So I'm able to produce at a greater rate. My mind is sharp. I'm able to exercise. I do that every day, take the dogs out, and I'm able to be the best version of me that I can be. And if I can do it, you can do it. Pinky Love said, I stopped worrying about things I cannot change. You can't worry. I don't know what they're doing in Iran, but let me tell you something. I know there's going to be resolved one way or the other. You can't worry about it, because that's the enemy that is trying to make you feel inferior. Oh, he out there with another woman. You ought to go follow him. You go, trick no good. Listen, I got too many things to do. Today is wash day. Today I got to mop my house. Oh my goodness. Today I take my car to get done. Oh, I got to get my nails done. I got to get my feet done. Oh, I got to take the kids to get whatever they done. Oh, they got to go to baseball practice. Oh, they got to, baby, let me tell you something. By the time you get home, you better keep your eyes open. And you say, look how much I've accomplished. Look what I've done. And guess what? You ain't missed a beat, but you can't worry about people. And remember, what did I tell you? Silence is warfare. You can't tell everybody your business. You got to move in silence, and whatever it is you're going to do, you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody is threatening you and beating you and all that, and that's different. You got to go. But short of that, listen, let me tell you something. It's called cost-benefit analysis. You take your debits, you take your credits, and you figure it out. Monica Allman, over 70, and you described exactly where I'm at this stage of life. Create a schedule and maintain it. Great advice. This is the time I read my books. This is the time I take my bath. When I take my bath, I'm going to put on some nice pajamas, and I'm going to put a little scent on, and I'm going to lay in that bed, and I'm going to read my book, and I'm going to smell good for me. And I'm showing up for me because I am demanding excellence from myself. And when you challenge yourself to show up and your house clean, it smell good, you cooking every day, you showing up, you exercising, it's like all of a sudden, and I think Monica can attest to this, people say, wow, you look younger. You look like you relaxed, because you have a schedule, you stick to it, and you accomplish what it is that you need to do. You're not in denial. You're rebuilding you. And that's what you have to focus on. How do I become the better version of me? And we all are a work in progress, but you got to keep going and keep working. Okay, ladies, I love y'all. Had a good time. So listen, I have committed to coming back and doing this. It was something that I loved and I wanted to do, and I kind of got away from it because I kind of got super, super duper busy. But until we meet again, which will hopefully be soon, God bless you. I'll see you next week.
In a car accident, call Vonda's Law and get the money you deserve. A name you can trust.